Hey, this is Derek with Cafe Realty. Today, I wanted to give thanks to the many people who have reached out to me. One of the things that I was not expecting when I started this channel was how many people, even with at this point like 65 subscribers, and prior to that, like people started reaching out to me like at 30 subscribers, just saying like how they're connecting with the information that I'm giving out. Glad to see someone who looks like me giving out this information and just showing love, looking for potential mentorship, looking for partnership, looking for guidance on their own journey. And it's been very eye opening for me to just see how many people find use in my content and has actually been motivation for me to continue in this journey of providing YouTube videos. Later on, what I like to do with the videos is to get more interactive with them as far as providing charts, providing on site video, things of that nature. But right now, to be honest with you, I am so busy doing the work that I'm doing the work of being a real estate broker, of being a licensed general contractor, of being a real estate developer, that I just don't have the time to be doing all of the editing and taking video because it's hard to do the work while also trying to document the work. Not impossible, and some people are much better at it than I am, but for where I'm at in my YouTube career, my main goal is just to get out content and then later on dress it up more as I get more experience in it, as maybe I start to see some of the benefits of this kind of payoff and then I can reinvest it back into the YouTube portion. Yeah, but thank you for all of the support so far. And I'm hoping to give you information that is very valuable to what you're trying to do in life. So, I'm both a commercial real estate broker and a licensed general contractor. But a vast majority of the people who are interested in the content are more concerned with the general contractor side of things, and how to become a general contractor is primarily the number one thing that people are looking for so far. There are people who've called me up because they've bought some land or they have an idea in mind to do tiny homes or to rezone some land to build a duplex for their family, or just there's different people reached out to me on the zoning aspect of things, which is part of my commercial real estate brokerage. But vast majority of people who've been reaching out have been more so about getting the general contractor's license here in the state of Georgia. And one of the things I kind of want to talk about with it is maybe, I don't know, because there's like actual steps involved in becoming a licensed GC here in Georgia. There's the steps that you have to fill out with regards to the application and the parameters that they set for qualifying. But there's also like soft skills that are, or ideologies that kind of have helped me to get to where I am currently. I want to talk more about that aspect of it. The fact that if you're looking to become a GC, like why are you looking to even become a GC? And a lot of times, the reason that I would think many people are looking to become a GC, because first of all, there is a lot of money in the construction field, just a lot of money in the construction field. And I'm experiencing that myself now, where opportunities are coming my way faster than I expected them to come my way. And I'm finding that I am not equipped to take on or to handle all of the opportunities that have come my way. So basically, I've jumped out of the plane and I'm building my parachute on the way down. With my construction company in particular, the amount of business has definitely been eye opening, and it eye opening in a good way. But for me, it's really building up the systems and the processes and putting the people and resources together to really take advantage of the opportunities that are coming my way through the construction business. But when it comes to that, I want to talk about my mindset around why I'm doing what I'm doing. because it may be insightful for somebody. It may absolutely be garbage for you, but we won't know until I say it, and then you could figure that out on your own. I came to Atlanta from Ohio, Youngstown, Ohio, back December 31st, 2010. When I got here, I had some idea of what I wanted to do, but I really didn't know what I wanted to do. I had read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad several years back, and it seemed like real estate was going to be the thing, but still didn't really know what that looked like. How did that work? The book was more about from a mindset thing, but it was not good on the technical aspect of how do you carry this out. And so the book that I found out that I read that actually was good, more so on the technical side, but I didn't listen to, was The Richest Man in Babylon by George Clason. In that book, it actually says basically pay yourself first, make yourself more valuable so you can earn more money. Buy a home for yourself because that provides some stability so then you can build from that foundation. One of the things I've understood is that economics is warfare. If you don't know, economics is basically the study of resources, how resources are distributed, who controls resources, how resources maneuver throughout the economy. Many times we squander our resources here in this country simply because through culture we've been taught to be wasteful. I've heard plenty of rap songs where they talk about blowing money fast. It talks about wasteful consumption of tools, which money is a tool. It's a tool to acquire resources. Those resources are used for your economic benefit. But many times we're squandering the tools and squandering them on things that aren't really resources, things that are just doodads and gadgets. When I talk about real resources, we're talking about things that can appreciate in value or things that are necessary for the basics of human life. We're talking food, clothing, shelter. And I'm not talking clothing from the perspective of luxury clothing. I'm just talking about it has a functionality of protecting you from the elements. I'm talking about housing from a functional perspective, not you have to have this mansion that has a pool, has the magnificent sunroom, marble countertops or granite countertops, or whichever type of fancy stone countertop you want to plug in there. I'm talking about the basic necessities. We need the basic necessities. And when I decided to become a GC, it was because I'm looking at it like economics. It's also about who doesn't get resources. That's part of it. It's who has resources, but it's also about who doesn't have resources. So you'll notice things like there's economic sanctions against Russia. This is warfare. This is warfare without guns. This is things like boycotts. This is tariffs. These are trade embargoes. We won't do business with you. We won't take your stuff in. We won't take your stuff out. This is freezing assets. These are things that happen between nations, but it's also things that happen within a nation. And we have to be very strategic about how you use the resources that you have at your disposal. And so when I think of things, I think of how can I empower people, sometimes in ways that people don't even know they're being empowered. And in my case, it may be something such as I advocate within the city of Austell. I advocate for certain housing types. Why? Because these housing types are beneficial to people who live within the city and it will allow them to thrive. So this can be things like accessory dwelling units or duplex housing. That's how I got started, by buying a duplex, living in one unit, renting out the other unit. Triplexes, quadplexes, people living in multi-generational housing, people living in 12-unit apartments or 5-unit apartments, because these types of apartment buildings are typically owned by local people, which means your wealth and your revenue can stay within the community. And that allows you to have a much healthier community because those people can use that revenue to reinvest into their community. They can use that revenue to create jobs. And that has much more of an impact than, say, if I take that revenue and I spend it on a Gucci belt or whatever clothing because that's simply for show. That really does nothing for the community. And why would you want to do something for the community? You want to do something for the community because you want to be able to have both people to partner with in order to build your local economy, and you want consumers who are in healthy positions to be able to purchase the goods and services that you deliver. And so the mindset around things changes the way I interact on a daily basis, which then, in effect, changes the way people act towards me. So there are people who will do things for me because I lead with service. I'm trying to be valuable and help out others. And then, therefore, people want to help out me in exchange. And it comes down to the idea that wealth building is a team sport. It is not a individual game. There are plenty of people who, even in the situation I'm in today, there are plenty of people who have helped me out along the way. And I've helped them out in ways, even like the lenders who've provided funding for my real estate. I'm paying them their money back plus interest. And then I have access to this asset which can house people, but then can provide amenity resources such as retail establishments, which the retail establishments can provide jobs. And just by having the housing, it can allow me to be able to employ people who work as property managers or people who work as maintenance to maintain the property. And so you create an economy that is more healthy by thinking of others and being in service to others rather than just thinking strictly about myself. So when you're trying to get your license and you're trying to figure out, I need somebody to sign off on my application, think of how can you be of service to people. What I'm trying to say is that by coming at life with a sense of service and a sense of teamwork and a sense of being a consistent learner in order to bring value to yourself, which then you can use to help out others. And then helping out others, then in turn, gets you what you're looking for as far as potentially growing a business or to build a brand or to do whatever you're looking to do. So when you become a GC, and I'll tell you, if you want it to happen, it can happen. Won't necessarily be easy because there was many challenges for me. I think I may have mentioned it previously, but if I did not, in 2020, I had applied for my GC license and I was denied. And I didn't apply again until 2024. Thankfully, by then I had got some things in order, got some new relationships in place that allowed me to get over that hump and finally be qualified to sit for the exam. But I applied in 2020 and was denied. And 4 years later, I didn't give up on it and I was pissed. But I didn't give up on it and I put in the work. I did things for myself. Oh, and that's a big thing. Sometimes doing for yourself is necessary in order to get others to do for you.